gonna teach you the step-by-step process on how to reconcile a bank statement and a cash book. So the first step that you need to remember is to prepare the cash book and the balance or the bank statement that you want to reconcile. So I have it here. Okay, so I have it here, Charan. The cash book and the banking statement. So for the cash book, the features were the date of all the transactions and the description of each transactions, the debit and the credit, and of course the balance. Okay, so it's very important that on these transactions, whatever transaction is, there will always be the balance at the end of it. And the banking statement as of end of June. So I use this end of June 2017 as an example. So the same thing with the cash book because they are the same. Ano? So we have the dates in the description, and of course the amount deducted from the account is the same with our debit, and the amount that added to the account is the what we call the credit, and as well as we have the balance at the end. As you can see, in the first place, we have the first transaction ever made is the opening balance. Okay, the opening balance in that month is given here, and it will be automatically recorded on the balance itself. So the first is 45,387 pesos. In the same thing with our cash book. So that's the first step. The second step is to prepare for your bank reconciliation template. So I have it as well here with me. Okay, so this is an example of bank reconciliation template. So bank reconciliation statement, we have here the bank statement versus the cash book. So you're going to write here the things in this place in the bank statement column. You're going to write here or place here everything that is recorded in the cash book but not recorded in the bank statement. Okay, so for example, we have here the add the deposit transit that is recorded in the cash book but not recorded in the bank statement, and deduct the outstanding check and add or deduct the bank errors because it depends upon the errors that has been made. Okay, it could be deducted or added. Now the next thing is in the cash book, the same thing with this bank statement. You are going to place here all of the transaction that has been recorded in the bank statement but not recorded in your cash book. Okay, so we have here the missing receipt. You can add that and add the interest received because as you deposit money, there's an interest. The bank give an interest to it. And then deduct bank fees. Sometimes there are bank fees that is not recorded on your cash book but recorded in the bank statement. Next, deduct the bounce check. Okay, you're going to deduct that bounce check and then add or deduct the errors. The same thing with this because the errors could be made again by either the bank statement or the cash book. And as at the end, so we have the adjusted closing balance and the adjusted closing balance, the same thing with this. So now our target is to make this adjusted closing balance of our bank statement and adjusted closing balance of our cash book equal. So that is our target. In simple word, our unreconciled amount must be equal to 0. Now, what's the formula in getting the unreconciled amount? It's just with this, the unadjusted balance of the bank statement subtracted to unadjusted balance of the cash book, or the difference of the two, which is higher. For example, sometimes higher is the unadjusted balance of cash book. So therefore, you're going to subtract or deduct the an adjusted balance of the bank statement with this and vice versa. Okay, so it depends on which is the higher balance. Okay, so that is the unreconciled amount. So the balance of the bank statement, unadjusted balance minus the cash book unadjusted balance. So our target is to make this into zero. So that means our bank statement and our cash book is the same and verified that they are perfectly equal to each other. Okay, so these are the features of our bank reconciliation template. Now I'm going to teach you the third step. The third step. Our third step, so let's go back with our cash book and our bank statement example. We are going to check all the matching transactions or the good transaction recorded in the cash book and recorded perfectly as well in our banking statement. So let's check those things. Let's find this. We have, of course, the balance. It's correctly encoded in our bank in our cash book 45,387, and the same thing with our banking statement. Now the 3,592, the deposit, it is correctly as well recorded in these two statements or two transaction record. And now we have the 235 pesos check number 134. Check number 104, 2,235 pesos check as well. And the 545 EFT payment check as well and check as well. Lastly, we have the EFT receipt 15,982. EFT receipt 15,982. So correct, check that matching transaction. Now, so we have here the check number 106. In our cash book, it's entered and recorded as 7,005 here. This is the error has been made. Now, in the banking statement, it is recorded as 7,050 pesos. So what we're going to follow is the banking statement. Okay, we're going to follow the banking statement. So we're going to deal with that error, but now we're not going to check that because that is not a matching transaction because there's an error on it. Okay, now as you check all the matching transaction, that is not our concern. So leave that behind, all the matching transaction. Our concern were all the unmatching transaction. Okay, so these are the unmatching transactions here, those things that we did not check. So what are we going to do with those things? We are going to place those in our bank reconciliation statement. Okay. Okay, for our step number 4, you need to place all the unmatching transaction accordingly into our bank reconciliation statement. Okay, that is recorded in here but not recorded in here, or recorded in the bank statement but not recorded in the cash book. Let's start. So this, as you can see, we have here in the cash book, we have here the deposit dated June 30, 2017, the deposit of 2,220 pesos. It's recorded in the cash book but not recorded in our banking statement. So therefore, here in our bank reconciliation, you are going to place that transaction and the deposit in transit of 2,220. Okay, why add? Because it's a deposit. Okay, it's a debit. You're going to add it here in the bank statement column. Okay, next, that's our transaction A. For the transaction B, as you can see, we have here dated June 12, 2017, check number 105, worth of 910 pesos. Recorded in the cash book but not recorded in the bank statement. Now, again, write that in the bank statement column. The outstanding check, worth 910. Why the DAC? Because it's a credit. Okay, it's a credit. So therefore, you're going to add this in or deduct this in the bank statement. Now we're done with this. Everything is recorded. Let's go with our bank statement. In our bank statement, we have here transaction, name it. We have here the NSF checked. Let's start with the EFT receipt. Anyway, whatever, whichever you're going to select at first, there's no particular order, okay? Wherever you start, it's okay. It doesn't matter at all. So let's start with this. Let's follow this. We have the EFT receipt of 1,000 pesos. This EFT receipt of 1,000 pesos is recorded in our banking statement but not recorded in our cash book. So you're going to place that here in the column of cash book. We have the add missing receipt of 1,000 pesos. Now, another thing, we have the interest received of 107 pesos recorded here but not recorded here in the cash book, so place it in the cash book. Add the interest received of 107 pesos. Next, we have the bank fees of 50 pesos recorded in the bank statement, not here. So place it here. Deduct the bank fees of 50. Deduct, okay? Deduct the bank fees of 50. Now, next we have NSF check. This is outstanding check, okay? So this is the bound check of 6,000 pesos. We have there in the banking statement, but as you can see, it's not recorded. There's not any transaction here that is 6,000 pesos. So we need to place that in this cash book column, deduct the bounce checks of 6,000. And let's go back now with the error has been made. We have the check number 106 dated June 25, 2017. We have the 7,050. But in here, we have the same transaction. We have the same check number 106, but the value is different and the date is different as well. We have here the June 19, 2017, but here we have the June 25, 2017. So this is different. Now, because of that, you're going to deduct this 705, follow this, the banking statement, 705, or deduct the 705 from 7,050. So that's equal to 45 pesos. So you're just going to add or deduct the errors of 45 pesos. So in here, you need to add. Okay, you need to add because it's amount added from account. So it's deducted. So it must be, so it's deducted in the banking statement. So therefore, it must be added in the cash book. So it's 45 pesos. Now, by the way, for you to find the unreconciled amount, this is the unadjusted closing balance. We have unadjusted, okay? Unadjusted. So we have the 52,188 pesos for our banking statement and 58,486 for our cash book. Now, these two, you're going to subtract 52,188 from 58,486, so that will be equal to your unreconciled amount. Okay, so if you're going to deduct that, that will be equal to 16 minus 8 is 8 and 0. So let's solve this. 8, 0, and we have 4 minus 1 is 3, and oh, wait. This will be 16. This will be 17. So this will be 9. And this will be 4 minus 1 or 3 minus 1. That will be 2. This will be 2, 9, 8. And this will be 8 minus 2. 8 minus 2 is 6. So 6,298 unreconciled amount. So our target is to make this into 0, right? So to make that into 0, we're going to use these transactions to make that 0. So you are going to add 2,220 to this, to 52,188, and then the answer 52,188 plus 2,222 And then the answer will be subtracted by 910. The resulting balance is 53,498. If you're not sure with me, then you may compute it on your own. Now, let's go with the cash book. You're going to add 1,000 plus 107 plus 58,486. And then the answer will be subtracted by 50, by 6,000, and by 45 pesos. So the total of that, the final answer will be 53,498. Now, the adjusted closing balance of the banking statement and the adjusted closing balance of the cash book is the same. Therefore, our unreconciled value will be equal to 0. And our work is done. That is the bank reconciliation method. So I hope you learned something from me. And of course, if you have some more questions, just don't forget to leave your comment below. And I'm going to try my best to answer your questions. And that's all for today. Let us all pray that things will get better soon. Thank you, everyone, and God bless. Remember that math is easy.